Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If you want to improve your English while listening to inspiring and meaningful stories, then you're in the right place. Today, we are going to learn English through one of the most powerful stories from the time of Buddha, the story of Angulimala, a feared bandit who changed his entire life after meeting Buddha. This story will not only help you improve your English listening skills and vocabulary, but it will also teach valuable lessons about peace, compassion, forgiveness, and personal transformation. So sit back, relax, listen carefully, and let's begin this incredible journey of Buddha and Angulimala. Peace generates from deep within. It generates from the being to the mind, and from the mind to the environment. It was said that wherever Buddha was teaching for up to 20 miles all around that place, there never used to be violence, and things used to be very calm and very peaceful. There is a story of Buddha's time. There was a man who was a dacoit, and he was called Angulimala. People who know Buddha know Angulimala also. He was compared to Hitler in those days. He had killed 999 people and cut their fingers and made a garland out of those fingers. He was a terror. People were scared of him. He would just butcher people and cut their fingers since he wanted to have a garland. 999 people, and he was looking for a 1,000th finger. And it so happened that Buddha was passing by. Angulimala lived on top of a hill. He saw a beautiful man and a good-looking person. He said, "Okay, here is my 1,000th. I can have his finger as a pendant." So he came down the hill laughing loud and making noise, "I am Angulimala coming." And Buddha was unshaken. He just stood there smiling. Angulimala tried to chase him. "Are you not afraid? You know I am Angulimala." People were terrified just by hearing his name. They had nightmares. People would run away. And here he sees a man just standing there, embodiment of peace, just smiling, with so much compassion and grace looking at him. Angulimala came in front of Buddha and looked at him, and he was stunned. A few minutes and then he melted. He didn't know what was happening to him. Angulimala fell at the feet of Buddha. Buddha said, "Yeah, go ahead, you want my finger," but Angulimala could not. The amount of light and love just shook Angulimala. He fell at the feet of Buddha, and then he became a bhikshu, disciple. Buddha taught him meditation. He also changed his name. Everything in him changed, and people could not believe that. Angulimala was doing very strict austerities, staying with Buddha. And Buddha taught him how to see the tension and irritation, frustration and ignorance in him that propelled him to do such work. And when they all fell apart, he was such a wonderful person. After a few years, 10 years or so, he was being near Buddha. Buddha told him, "You have now attained a very good state, now go and teach." Now this man goes out to those villages where he had collected the fingers to teach people there. When he goes, even after 10 years, people would not forgive him. They had all the vengeance against him. They were throwing stones at him. He had bruises all over his body. When someone saw him and asked, "What has happened?" But he was still so peaceful, and he had a smile on his face. People said, "Here is someone who has come to help somebody," and then he was hit with stones and has been hurt. But he was never hurt from inside. He was still smiling. And when someone asked him, "How come you are smiling?" he said, "See, these people are showing how much anguish and tension they have gone through in their life. But for this supreme knowledge, I would have remained like this, and I would have made them more angry. I have created this anguish in them, and now that is being exhibited." He persisted, and when people saw that there is no reaction from Angulimala and that he is still smiling, still calm, still so peaceful, that's when they started coming back to him. When you don't react, people get more interested. Because everyone feels normal when the reaction comes, they feel peaceful and happy. But when the other person does not react, it pinches them somewhere. It pushes them to come back. So they all came back to him. They learned meditation from him. And they became happy in their lives. That's when Angulimala saw that the peace is coming from one person. When one person is peaceful, he creates so much peace all around him. It is effortless, Having peace in mind is not a strenuous job. It is an effortless process. Meditation is like that. It is an effortless process. When there is peace inside, the peace permeates outside also. It comes around you. It spreads in the environment. People start feeling the peace and grace around. The real victory of Angulimala. Years passed, and Angulimala continued teaching meditation and peace to people. The same villages that once feared him slowly began to change. One day an old woman came to him. Her husband had been one of the victims of Angulimala many years ago. She looked at him with tears in her eyes and said, "For years I hated you. I wished you would suffer the same pain that you caused others. But today, when I see how much you have changed, I realize that carrying hatred has only hurt me." Angulimala folded his hands and bowed his head. He did not try to defend himself. He did not make excuses for his past actions. He simply said, "I cannot change what I did in the past, but I can spend the rest of my life serving others and spreading peace." The old woman was surprised. She had expected arguments, but she found humility instead. That day she forgave him. This was one of the greatest lessons Angulimala learned. True strength is not in defeating others. True strength is in defeating the darkness within ourselves. Buddha often taught that every human being has two paths before them. One path leads to anger, hatred, jealousy, and violence. The other leads to wisdom, compassion, and peace. Every day we choose which path to follow. Angulimala had spent much of his life walking on the wrong path, yet even he was able to change. His story proves that no person is beyond redemption. Many people believe that once someone becomes bad, they can never become good again. Buddha disagreed. He believed that every person has goodness hidden deep inside. Sometimes it is covered by anger. Sometimes it is covered by fear. Sometimes it is covered by ignorance. But with awareness and meditation, that goodness can shine again. As Angulimala traveled from village to village, people became curious about his transformation. They would ask him, "What was the secret that changed you?" Angulimala always gave the same answer. It was not fear, it was not punishment, it was not force, it was compassion. He explained that thousands of people had feared him, hated him, and wanted revenge against him. None of those things changed his heart. But one peaceful smile from Buddha transformed his entire life. That is the power of compassion. When people are treated with kindness, something inside them begins to soften. This lesson remains important even today. In our daily lives, we often become angry when someone hurts us. We react immediately. We speak harsh words. We try to hurt them back. But Buddha taught a different way. He taught that anger cannot end anger. Only understanding can end anger. Only peace can create peace. Angulimala became living proof of this truth. Near the end of his life, he was no longer remembered as a cruel bandit. Instead, he was remembered as a wise monk who helped countless people find peace. His transformation inspired thousands. People who heard his story realized that if a man responsible for so much suffering could change, then anyone could change. A lazy person can become hardworking. An angry person can become calm. A fearful person can become courageous. A selfish person can become compassionate. The door to transformation is always open. The only requirement is the willingness to change. That is why the story of Buddha and Angulimala continues to inspire people even after more than 2,000 years. It reminds us that peace is stronger than violence. Love is stronger than hatred. And compassion is stronger than fear. The greatest battle is not fought with weapons. The greatest battle is fought inside our own minds. When we conquer anger, greed, jealousy, and hatred, we achieve the greatest victory of all. And just like Angulimala, we discover that true happiness does not come from power or control. It comes from inner peace. Final morals. One peaceful mind can change a family. One peaceful person can change a village. One enlightened soul can change the world.